being swept away in the first round by the 7th-seeded Medicine Hat Tigers.
The offseason for the Medicine Hat Tigers, after an emotional playoff run, was supposed to be a time to refresh, reload, and rebuild for the fall campaign. But it was the rebuild that took priority while the other two went downstream after a disastrous flood from the South Saskatchewan River impacted their 43-year-old arena.
My initial reaction was, wow. I couldn't believe how within a half an hour, because we had actually done a building inspection at 8 o'clock the morning that it flooded, and there was nothing. We were dry. We did have water in the back of the building, in the parking lot, basically. Within half an hour, there was probably 12 inches of water on the complete floor of the ice surface.
The adjacent South Saskatchewan River crested at a flow rate 3 times the amount of Niagara Falls on June 23rd, and for the second time in 18 years.
We did have quite a bit of water in the facility, probably up to a meter deep in some areas.
Well, there was a crew that came down a day before that started, but were pulled away to go to some of the other areas in the Hat which were deemed to be priority.
All the estimates at that time of the river flow and what was going to be flooded, it was anticipated that it was going to be so large and the magnitude of the flood was going to be so big that really there was nothing we could do with the arena.
That, yeah, it was a tough feeling knowing that no more wasn't being done.
Within 24 hours, the water was basically back into the river, which was great for us. Through the efforts of our staff, through the Parks and Recreation Department, we were able to actually move a lot of the mud out of the facility, which I think, looking back, was probably one of the smart things that we did. We got on it right away, didn't allow it to dry.
I don't think I've ever seen this building this clean from, you know, the job that they did in the cleanup.
When we walked through there before we walked through the arena, when you took me for a little bit of a tour, how much different is this compared to that day? Do you remember that day when we were walking through what it looked like?
Yeah, well, absolutely. It's, you know, we're almost ready to play hockey again.
Well, I can tell you the first moment that I came into the arena when our staff called me and said we're flooding, I would have assumed that at the best it would have been the new year, that we would have been back up operating with the regular season.
Well, because we went through it in '95 and we didn't lose any games, you know, I was confident. But, you know, the building is almost 20 years older.
I think right now we're looking at the $2 million mark. That's what we've spent up to date, and that's still obviously coming in as the work is still progressing. Hundreds and hundreds, thousands of man hours.
You know, there's some things we do have to work around, but we'll move ahead.
And they will be, to a brand new 6,100-seat facility in the west end of the city.
We'll be playing out of there at the start of 15-16 season. As long as we can have a hockey game, and you know, the fans can come in and have a burger and a beer and enjoy themselves. You know, we're proud of our organization.
For the WHL on Shaw in Medicine Hat, I'm Dave Dawson.
Well, they might have said it was impossible, but that message never got through to the Medicine Hat Tigers.